How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a great day. And we're going to react to Manny Pacquiao at Oxford. He spoke and had a speech at Oxford University. I have never seen it, I've never listened to it, but in my comment section on other videos, other people said you must react to it. You must see what he has to say. And they said it'll really touch you. So I'm not sure what he's going to speak about, but we're going to check it out. We're going to react to it. We're going to talk about it. Definitely stay tuned after the video's over so you can hear my opinions. But let's check out and see what Manny Pacquiao, the legend of boxing, the legend of the Philippines, let's see what he has to say. Highly respect Manny. It's amazing he speaks at Oxford. Not many people get to do that.
Thank you, President Horvath and the other esteemed officials of the University of Oxford, distinguished members of the Oxford Union, other dignitaries in attendance, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am the only 8th Division World Boxing Champion in history.
Now 9.
Having won 11 major world titles, ranging from flyweight, which has an 8-stone limit, to super welterweight, which has an 11-stone limit. My tailor has been kept very busy throughout my career.
Oh, I bet.
Adjusting the waistband of my trunks. I have fought some of the best fighters in history. And yet I have to admit, as I stand before you, I am intimidated when I think of the kind of main event headliners who face you over the years.
Wow.
Sir Winston Churchill, American President Reagan, Nixon and Carter, Mother Teresa, Dalai Lama,
Woo.
and Sir Elton John.
Those are all the people that gave speeches here, I think. Those are some legendary names, and Manny Pacquiao gets to share the same podium as them. How awesome is that? How powerful is that? How many people can you reach with those words? Just amazing.
And here am I, Emmanuel the Pedran Pacquiao, standing before you armed with just the equivalent of a 6th form education. And in this, guys, respect for what your group and your university represent. And a pretty fair left hook. If this give and take today were a tale of the tape, I would be a respectful underdog.
Yes.
But be careful, I'm not that easy to floor.
That's right.
When I received your gracious invitation, I asked myself, what could I talk about that could possibly interest you? What could Manny Pacquiao say that would be of any impact, much more utility
I'm guessing his past.
To the men and women who enjoyed the highest standards of instruction at Oxford?
His childhood, probably.
The answer came fast. I know what I should speak about. Something very few among you can claim to know about: my education, certainly non-traditional, non-formal, largely unstructured. I will call it my education in the open university of life.
Yes.
It is a matter of record that I only had traditional formal schooling until secondary school, grade 12. It was only recently that I reached the university level through the alternative education program.
Wow.
We were dirt poor. I had to work since the age of 7. To help my mother, feed my 3 siblings and me. My days, many days.
He had to be a provider.
To have one full meal. On days when we had no food, I would drink lots of water just to fill my stomach.
That's so
and
sad.
I remember when we were young, my younger brother crying, asking for food to my mother, and my mother told us, just drink a lot of water to survive, and tomorrow maybe we'll have food.
Oh, that's so sad.
So that's the experience that I experienced when we were young. But my mind and spirit were never hungry. I read anything I could get my hands on. I even read the newspaper that my lunch or dinner came wrapped in. I read signs everywhere, even in moving vehicles. I learned measurements and weights by constantly reading the rates and tariffs at the warehouses where I worked as a stevedore, a docker in our parlance.
See, he had a hunger to learn. Even though he wasn't going through an education system, he wanted to read whatever he could read. Read and learn. Just amazing.
At night, when I could not sleep because of the cold, I would read the labels of the carton boxes that serve as my bed on the street pavement. The movements of the clouds, the tint of the horizon, and the clarity of the stars taught me when morning was about to come. And for me, morning did come, warm, bright, and simply amazing.
Yes.
A lesson in what can be achieved if you have determination, if you ignore the odds against you, and as you are taught here at this magnificent institution, never ever quit.
And that's something awesome that you can pick up from that point. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be negative things in your life. There's always going to be things that you can look at and be like, man, that's going to hold me back. Man, I can't get past that obstacle. But he's saying you got to ignore that. If you want to go forward and do and achieve what you want in life, you got to ignore those things. And that's exactly what Manny Pacquiao did. That's exactly what you can do and I can do. Just ignore the negative things and strive for your dreams, strive for your goals, and you can achieve them. You just got to be positive minded about it and just forget about all the negative things and negative people. All that things. All you gotta do, the power of being able to ignore stuff and being focused straightforward on your goals is a wonderful thing that you can have in your life, and every one of us can have it. You just gotta dig deep and use that power that we have.
David and Goliath, and look at me. I'm not very big and I never had 5 smooth stones to throw at any obstacle. But determination is a power tool.
Yes.
I won a lot of fights. Since 2016, I have been a sitting member of the Philippine Senate.
Yes.
Having received the direct vote of over 16 million Filipinos.
It's awesome.
As such, I participate in debates that result in the passage of legislation which determine the course of our country's history and directly the world's. I don't fault anyone who views me as singularly ill-equipped for this role. Instead, I ask, is there anyone more knowledgeable than this humble civil servant about the hardships incident to the way of life
He's lived
of
it.
the majority of our people?
He's lived it. That's
Who among my
powerful.
colleagues has faced poverty face-to-face from birth? Whose life's work has it been to battle illiteracy? In crafting effective laws, there is no better guide than the pulse of the masses. I may not have financial acuity. I may not be historically fluent. I may not even be socially adept. But I am philosophically rooted in my personal adversities,
Yes.
which morally bind me to the general struggle of our people.
He just wants to help his
I am a
people.
fighter, and I will always be a fighter, not just because it is my profession. I was a fighter long before I first set foot in a boxing ring.
Yes.
All my life I have been fought to live. Every single day in my youth, I fought for survival. Now, I do it and get paid for it. Then, I was lucky to get a piece of bread for it.
Whew.
But how my struggles of any value to the Filipinos? It cannot feed or clothe all of them. No matter how much I give financially, hundreds of thousands more remain wanting. In 2013, in the aftermath of Category 5 Super Typhoon Haiyan,
Oh, sad
locally remembered as Yolanda, the
typhoon.
deadliest typhoon to devastate my country, leaving a record of more than 10,000 dead, I went to Tacloban and visited a nightmare.
Oof.
The place was a virtual ghost town. Everyone had lost someone from their family. Others, their entire family. No property was spared. There were bodies everywhere. There was no food, no water, no electricity. Each face I looked into bore the same expression: defeat. Not a single person there thought that they could ever recover from that tragedy.
That's rough.
I thought to myself, I can give millions, as have many other donors from all over the world. But no amount of money can give these people hope.
Hope and encouragement.
I fought against despair. But then I had an idea. We set up a makeshift basketball court and I started shooting some hoops. Then one boy picked up the ball after one of my shots and tried a shot. Soon there were enough of us to have 5-on-5 match, and we did. The smiles, the laughter, the hopes of joy of those boys during the game are memories forever etched in my heart.
And that is awesome, you know. He said, I could give millions of dollars, but everybody, you know, there's a lot of people doing that. Money can take you only so far. There's way more stuff valuable than money, and that's what he's talking about. He gave hope. He gave, like normalcy, like, you know. In the Philippines, basketball is everywhere. Wherever you look, there's a court. There's always young people playing, old people playing, whatever. There's just basketball everywhere. Trust me, I've seen it. I've been to the Philippines plenty of times. I've even played against some locals. I got my butt kicked, by the way. They're good. Anyway, just you know, doing something normal gives hope to the young and old or whatever. Be like, we can get back to where we was. This typhoon was terrible, you know. It was one of the strongest ones ever to hit land, period, in the whole history of the world. And it hit the Philippines, and it devastated. Like he said, there many people lost their lives, over 10,000, wiped out whole neighborhoods, cities. It was a bad deal, bad. But he wanted to do more than just give money. I'm sure he gave money, but he wanted to do more. He gave hope. He gave the desire to be normal again. You know, he gave hope that it can come back. Sure, we have lost loved ones. It's part of life. It's a very sad part of life, but it is. But there's other things that can come back to be normal, and we can get our neighborhoods back, and we can grow as a Philippine people. And he gave Philippine people hope, and that's what's awesome. That's what I admire about him. He knows where he's been. I mean, he's at the top right now. He's been at the top for a while. He's a legendary boxer of the world, not just the Philippines, of the world. You know, you hear me? But he's so humble. That's why you gotta love Manny Pacquiao. He's humble. He's super humble. He's super respectful. He super cares. He gives his whole heart out, his whole soul out to the Filipino people. And he would take his shirt off his back and give it to somebody if they asked for it, I'm sure. But he's just an amazing boxer, amazing person. Somebody you can really look up to. You should have all your young looking up to him. Yeah. He's made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. We're human. That's what humans do. We make mistakes, and we'll continue to make mistakes. Even the best of people are going to make mistakes. It's how you get past those mistakes. And he's using every bit of his time on earth now for good, for help. I mean, he's just amazing. So let's keep going with this speech. It's freaking awesome.
To have lost everything overnight, including parents, siblings, friends, but to still have the ability to rise above one's person lost and reach out to your fellow man, even just in play, to find joy together. There, at that point, in those victims' eyes, I found hope.
Yes, hope.
Those boys who had nothing left gave me hope. By the way, I would like to thank the United Kingdom for donating more than 60 million pound for the Type 1 victims.
That is awesome.
Thank you very much to all your support.
Yes.
And the donation. 4 years later, I would see the same physical and societal devastation in Marawi. Our beautiful city of the south was reduced to ruins by civil strife. Death and destruction.
Yeah, it was terrible
broke
too.
The hearts and backs of its residents, but not their spirit. 1 year later, Marawi is now under rehabilitation.
That's awesome.
This and other experiences like this motivated me to answer the call of public service.
Yes.
I believe in all humility that my life is just a snapshot. It is a glorified blow-up of what millions Filipinos live through on a day-to-day basis. The hardships, the challenges,
Goosebumps,
the
man.
hope extinguishing, despair. Yet, through the ashes of destruction, the Filipino always manages to rise up and fight another day. I believe that I was born for a purpose.
Yes.
And destined to serve as an inspiration for the average Filipino in the rest of the world. To fight, to rise above adversity, to conquer and defy, and to embrace life in all its difficulties. Manny Pacquiao is the best fairy tale every Filipino could tell and retell to all generations yet to come. Manny Pacquiao's story is incredible but true. Miracles do happen.
Yes.
Dreams do come true. Being poor does not mean one must die poor. Hard work and persistence will set you free from the shackles of poverty.
Yes.
But it is faith that will take you to the very top. And that is Manny Pacquiao's story. So I ask you, all of you, to never lose faith in what you can do as human being. Believe in the loyalty of the family and believe in the Almighty God. It is not easy to believe in the power of one, but I ask you to look around you, count the faces, do the multiplication, and suddenly we are a power of 50 or 100 or 1,000. You, with your education, determination, and faith, you can change the world.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that was super powerful. I'm guessing he's speaking to students. Not really sure. That's what they look like. He showed out his, he told about his hardships, how life can be hard, and you gotta strive through it. Life may beat you down. You may have all these obstacles. You might be poor. You might, be sick. You might be something. But everybody in them has the power to get through it. You just gotta be focused. You gotta have hope. You gotta ignore all the negative, bad things, and you just gotta work hard at your goals, and you can do it. And he's saying, as humankind, as us, you 150,000, whatever, we can change the world. We can change the world for good, and that's what Manny Pacquiao is doing, and has done for quite a while. He does good, and he's had a lot of things go against him, and a lot of people had to face what Manny Pacquiao had to face. Who knows where they would be? They wouldn't be on top like Manny Pacquiao is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times things beat us down in life, and we let it beat us down. We have an obstacle and we just give up. Don't give up. The message is, don't give up. Strive for your goals. Do good. Help mankind, and be on top, and we'll be a much better place. I just absolutely love the pride he has for the Philippines and the Philippines people. I absolutely love and admire how much love he has for the Filipinos. It's freaking awesome. I wish every person in every country had that much for, their people and other people. He didn't just mention the Philippines. He said the world. He wants to help the world, and that's just amazing. And one guy can do that. Two guys can do it better. And if we have all of us doing it, who knows where the human race could go? But he mentioned, the hurricane. We call it hurricane where I live, but a typhoon in the eastern hemisphere. Devastating. It had been easy to give up, but there was hope. there was pride, there was desire to get back to where he was. And Marawi is a terrible situation too. You know, people came in, killed a bunch of people, took hostages, pretty much destroyed the city. And Mindanao is a beautiful island. I've been to Mindanao several times. I actually was at a city about an hour away from Marawi 2 years ago, and I was in Zamboanga City 2 months ago. It's an absolutely beautiful place, but there's bad things that creep up. It's just how you get through it. You gotta be positive. And I absolutely love the positive, strong message Manny Pacquiao gave. It was an awesome speech at an awesome college. Oxford, it's up there, you know, on the list of the world. But just amazing and all-inspiring. And people need to know Manny Pacquiao's life story. I wish they would make an awesome movie, realistic, every bit of it. They definitely need to do that. That way, it's easier, you know, it's easier to watch it than read it for some people. It needs to be in books. It needs to be. He's inspiring. Anyway, those are my words. Those are my thoughts. Those are my comments. You may have something to add. Definitely comment down below. I love reading the comment section. I absolutely love it. It's one of my best parts about YouTube is the communication. So definitely comment down below. That would be awesome. But if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Max Reaction family. I would appreciate that. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully you'll visit the next video. Peace.